What if I told you that Nature Boy is a foreshadow of things to come pertaining to the church? Eligio Bishop is his name. Just take the word Eligio and place an R in front of it, and you get the word religio. Religio means religion. And bishop means someone that has spiritual supervision over others. Eligio Bishop, he will represent a pastor that will be used to gather the anointed for the dark side. By luring God's people with nature and giving them the sense of protection, many of God's people would place themselves in danger by allowing someone to lure them overseas to foreign countries. So many of these pastors during these end times will be used to lure God's people overseas by giving them a sense of protection. But once overseas, they will be abused, and it will be nothing that they can do about it. They're being led by wolves in sheep's clothing. Here we have Elder Ricard Shiar, leader of Gathering of Christ Church. He will be the pastor or the elder that will be used to lure God's people overseas. He's a false light. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Ricard Shiar, he manipulates the minds of the people by using fear. Yes, using fear. Fear of the military, fear of food shortage, fear of being kicked out of your home. It's all about fear to control the minds of the people in order to lead them away from their homeland. His target is the women, whom is labeled as the weaker vessel and must be led by a man. Also, we have another wolf in sheep's clothing. His name is Elder Gabar, former elder of GOCC NYC. But his current YouTube channel is I Am Fit. Gabar's target is the men. He manipulates the minds of the men by programming them to abuse women, by teaching that men are the head of women and women must obey men at all costs. The split between Ricard and Gabar, it was staged. It was to divide the men from the women. They use the same tactics that Nature Boy uses by placing fear in you to lure you away from your home, and then abuses you and then separates the man from the woman. Beware of these pastors, bishops, elders.
I'm sure he misses you a lot.
I'm sure he does. I miss him to pieces. I do think about him a lot, but I'm very, very sure that he's going to be so proud of what I chose to do.
Do you plan on seeing them again one day?
Oh yes, everybody's going to be, come to the 3, and he's going to be able to come. He's going to be able to learn, and everything that I lost will be returned.
How does your child's father feel about your decision?
He was not happy about it. He had his own traumas, of course, that he was going through at the time, and so he didn't like the idea. But like I said, you can't stop a grown person from doing it.
Developing tonight, an accused cult leader is in jail facing several charges. His name is Eligio Bishop, but he's known as Nature Boy. According to DeKalb County jail records, he's charged with rape, false imprisonment, and sending sexually explicit messages without the consent of the person in the picture. Bishop and the followers of the Carbon Nation cult have a reported history dating back several years. New tonight at 11, a former member is speaking to Paola Suro about the time with the group, and Paola is joining us live from the DeKalb County jail where Bishop is being held right now.
Yeah, Jennifer, Erica Carroll tells me she is glad Bishop is behind bars tonight. She tells me she believes that him being in jail is only going to help open the eyes to the current members of Carbon Nation.
What would you call it? A group? A cult? Would you call it a cult? I call it a cult now, yes. Yes, I do.
A Facebook post convinced Erica Carroll to move from New York to Honduras in 2006 to embark on a life-changing experience, one where she was told she'd be able to build a new community, eat vegan food, and be in touch with nature.
It was just in a place in my life where I was just searching for some spiritual truth.
The group back then was known as Melanation. Carroll says it was led by Eligio Bishop, who went by Nature Boy. She says all 9 of them were forced to sleep in tents, use restrooms outside, and attend long meetings to, quote, face your demons.
It was a lot of verbal and mental abuse.
But after 1 year, what got her to leave was when she says she witnessed Bishop hit his girlfriend at the time.
He slapped her up and punched her a couple of times, and then he told her to go in the tent and give him oral sex. So that was the breaking point for me.
But walking away, she realized, was easier than going back home.
I had to check myself into a couple of hospitals and get my mind right. I was seeing spirits. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Like I was going through a lot, and it was all connected to him though.
Carroll says since leaving in 2007, the cult, now known as Carbon Nation, turned more abusive and sexual. She says for some, it wasn't as easy to leave.
He has the women fighting each other. He's put his hand on the men. He always said that he wanted like a lot of wives, like he want, 10 wives.
He's had a history of charges before his arrest this week. Carroll remembers being in Costa Rica when she says he was accused of kidnapping a Canadian woman who was staying with them. Now, Carroll tells me she has been in touch with Bishop since leaving the cult in 2007. She tells me she even had a feeling he was going to get arrested soon and texted him just days ago telling him, your days are numbered. Jennifer?
Wow, Paula, thank you so much for that update. Like we have said, this investigation into Bishop and this reported cult goes back more than 10 years. For a closer look into what we know.
This case, it's almost over with. It's plain and simple. It's black and it's white. Evidence? None. Rape kit? No rape kit. You have a man behind bars for 2 years. Nobody thought to get this stuff done. Nobody thought to question the witnesses. Nobody thought about that. Nobody thought about asking for the evidence, but they sure did deny a lot of our motions to be able to bring that forth, like an evidentiary hearing. Okay, you're supposed to, by law, by your constitutional right, be granted an evidentiary hearing. This case should have been dropped already. It should have been. But being that Chief is the person that he is, and having these people like, I don't even want to say their names because I'm not giving nobody no clout whatsoever. But these people have been interpreting from their perspective our life and taking it and flipping it so that they can make to the public it seem like what they want to make it seem like. But we're going to take control of that and paint our own narrative of who we really are. So another thing is, let me see, the re-indictment. So if you aren't aware, Chief's case was re-indicted. It was just re-indicted today. You see, they keep doing stuff underhandedly. You remember in the beginning when all this first started happening, everything was public, everything was out there, made aware. So now stuff is being done quietly and secretly. So when you indict somebody, you're supposed to I'm not even gonna get into that because that's legal stuff and I'm not a lawyer. But he been re-indicted today. They said he was re-indicted for language, right? And when I look up what it means to be re-indicted, anybody can open your phone right now, go to Google, press in what it means to be re-indicted. It means that leading up, going to trial the prosecution doesn't have efficient evidence. They don't have the evidence that's going to match at the trial, or the prosecutor has just finally taken a look at the case and see that they don't have sufficient evidence, which we've been saying from the start. Where's the evidence? A demand for evidentiary hearing. Best believe that is going to be done. We're not going to rest until justice and Eligio is free. Okay? We already know our rights. If it has to go to the Supreme Court, that's the court that is over everything, we will do that. Okay? But to be reindicted, you don't have no evidence. You could find that online too as well. They don't really have anything. They don't have nothing. So what they're trying to do now is trying to cover up their steps because they have been exposed. A couple of family members of ours, we had made a joke, right? Because I know that you guys see that we filed a notice of intent to sue, which is already under process. Yes, it is. And after that, the prosecution immediately after, a couple days later, filed a notice to present similar transactions. We said, oh, okay. The joke was like, did you notice that we ain't got shit? Because they're trying to come back off of our notice, but we noticed that you don't have shit. Okay, so that was the whole thing. We notice, everybody notices that y'all don't have shit to hold him there anymore. And so he's going to be released soon. He's going to be free of all charges, case dismissed. Okay? And if what I was thinking, right? Because when I had saw everything today, I was like, man, people are just really, really miserable. They don't really show their true selves. You know, they hide behind a facade and a cover. But we all know the truth. We all know the truth. But we are, like I said earlier, we are in a very, very good position. Okay? No matter what it looks like, no matter what y'all might be thinking of, we're in a very, very good position. We have already have our lawsuit going. And there's a lot of things that we've learned and that we are learning. And that once Papi comes home, you guys are going to be enlightened of so much. That's if he chooses to come on here, because I guess the way that some of social media treats people, it ain't good, and it stresses out your body and your nervous system, honestly. So that was the updates for today. We had a pre-trial motion hearing. We had 3 witnesses come up to try to testify against him. You guys could see who those people are online. If you have a DeKalb County court search, you can go see the motions yourselves. There wasn't really a resolution for today. I guess only that the trial date is on February 20th. So we're waiting for February 20th, but just keep in mind that anything can happen before February 20th. Anything can happen. So we remain positive. We saw him today in court. He's very strong. His spirit is still present, still permeating. We got to see him, say hi. I was like, oh my gosh. It was just a shame just to see how people could lie. like, and twist up stories or make you look bad because they don't know how to communicate or they don't know how to handle their feelings and emotions. So they do stuff. They feel resentment or they feeling a personal vendetta or animosity towards you, and they trying to join the Me Too campaign. But like, I mean, it's very sad. It was very sad to me to see that, you know, and then people that was rocking with us so hard say some of the stuff that they said out their mouth. I was like, what? How does that even make sense though? I was just sitting in there. We was just like, what? Like, come on, man. He was in the jungle by himself, and it's just other people's problems. He's in jail from other people's problems, like allowing people to come and live with him and be with him, and then other people have issues that he tries to help, and it's like eventually it all blows up in your face. But trust me, he's going to have very good deeds. He's going to have very, very, very good deeds, you know, and so he's going to be blessed upon in the universe, many blessings in this universe, because all he be trying to do is help people. And it was just sad when I saw these people up in there just saying just weird stuff, you know, just trying to be seen. Like, if I get into the details, trust me, no. No.
Life without the possibility of parole, followed by 10 years consecutive with a false imprisonment.
Wow.
And on the internet porn, count 3, 12 months to serve, concurrent to the false imprisonment. The internet porn, I'll run concurrent to the false imprisonment. Internet, 5 years. So it's 12 months on count 3, 5 years on count 4, and 5 years on count 5. All of that will run concurrent to the false imprisonment. But the false imprisonment is consecutive. So it's life without parole.
Plus 10.
10 years.